Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Brian's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail. Before we get started today, if you don't want to listen to this part, you can skip ahead. For those of you that haven't subscribed, I ask you to please consider subscribing. It's free and it really helps out the channel a lot. Not only the channel, but my search and rescue efforts, as well as helping other search and rescue efforts. I wanted to say thank you for everyone who's already donated, and if anyone is able to donate, I'd really appreciate it. Right now, my goal is to go out and help a team called Wilderness Search Investigations. It's located in Washington State. I've been asked to help work teams in August and September. First, I want to do 2 weeks of search and rescue training in California. I have information in the description if you guys have any questions. And of course, I'll be taking all of you along with me. I'll be documenting cases that I'm investigating on my own, as well as any search and rescue missions that I go on. Today, we're going to be talking about a disappearance that happened up in Crater Lake, Oregon. Before we get started, I just wanted to let everyone know I'm going to be doing a series of short videos that cover various gear items that I carry and other things like that. If you're interested, I know they usually don't pop up when I post them, so if you are interested, they will be in the short videos playlist. Alright, let's get into today's video. Today we're going to be talking about the disappearance of Samuel Boehlke. He went by Sammy. This was all the way back in October of 2006. He disappeared in Crater Lake National Park, which is in the state of Oregon here in the United States. Let's take a look at some maps just to give you an idea. It's located in the southern part of Oregon, that little red circle right there in Oregon. Here's a map of the actual park. Crater Lake is located within the park. It is a crater of a dead volcano. It is roughly 7,700 years old. It is 1,949 feet deep, or 594 meters, making it the deepest lake in the United States. The weather during the summer is usually mild and dry, but because of its harsh winters, the park doesn't get as many visitors as other parks. It only gets around 500,000 visitors every year. The park gets on average over 40 feet of snow every winter, which doesn't melt until the beginning and middle of July, making the middle of July through roughly mid-October, depending on the snow and the season, the best times to visit the park. There's tons to do in the park, including hiking and camping. The Pacific Crest Trail runs right up through Crater Lake National Park. Of course, like many national parks, this park has a lot of local legends and lore, probably the most famous being the, quote, old man of the lake, which is this very old hemlock tree that bobs up and down vertically. It's supposedly roughly 450 years old. Many of the local natives believe this is what controls the weather in and around the lake. On October 14th of 2006, Sammy was with his father Ken. Sammy was only 8 at the time. They were around the Cleetwood Cove area of the park. There is a pull-off and parking area that they had parked at, pictured right here. Sammy suffers from Asperger's syndrome, which is a high-functioning form of autism. As a result of this, he has extreme reactions to bright lights and extremely loud noises. That day, Sammy and his father Ken were hiking in and around this area where a lot of people go to swim and jump off these rocks. Not quite sure if that's legal, but they do it. It was right around 4 p.m. They were about 500 yards east of the Cleetwood Cove parking lot, walking on the north side of Rim Drive. They stopped to play a short game of tag when Sammy apparently saw some kind of a yellow rock that he hoped was gold. Sammy then proceeded to run up this cinder slope, which his dad thought he was going to come right back down. It was getting dark. Sammy was known to do this kind of thing, run off and hide for a little bit, but come back. His dad went a short way to get his car so that they could get back in the car and go back to their cabin, which was at Diamond Lake. His father continued to call to Sammy, but Sammy stayed up on the slope, refusing to come down. Ken, his father, chased up after him as best he could. He thought that Sammy was probably thinking this was a game. Unfortunately, his father was never able to catch up with him, or Sammy had hidden himself to a point where his father couldn't see him. Young Samuel was known to do this. He liked to hide himself in leaf piles or dig little holes while he was playing games of hide and seek. At this point, though, his father became extremely worried. He could not get the boy's attention. He would not come down out of the woods or from wherever he was hiding. Darkness was quickly setting in, so he contacted the Klamath County Sheriff's Office for help. The police got there. They tried to assist the father in locating Samuel, but because darkness had set in, they contacted search and rescue, which immediately started a massive search for Samuel. At the height of the search, it had more than 200 people searching an area of about 6 square miles. They searched for over a week using search dogs, helicopters, heat sensing cameras, everything that they had available at the time. Here are some pictures that were in the local newspapers. These are pictures from the actual search. I know they're not the best quality, but remember, this was all the way back in 2006. There was tons of teams that came out to assist with this search and rescue. Jackson County Search and Rescue, the Klamath County Search and Rescue, the National Park Search Experts, California Search and Rescue people came up, people from Washington State, people from all over Oregon came to help with the search. They had specialist teams from Mount Hood and Mount Rainier that came in to help. The U.S. Forest Service and Bureau of Land Management employees also assisted with the search. At one point, one of the helicopters found what they thought was a trail, but unfortunately, when they sent the ground teams in, it ended up being animal tracks. The search and rescue teams were not able to use their whistles or anything loud because they were fearful that it might spark his autism and scare him even more. The technical crews that came in searched the slopes leading from the rim all the way down to the water, which is around 1,000 feet. They didn't think Sammy would have fallen into the lake because of all the obstacles on the slope. Then several major winter storms came in, dumping a ton of snow in the area, forcing the search teams to scale back their ground teams and eventually the rest of their main efforts involved in this search. The poor family was very frustrated at times because they were forced to stay up at Diamond Lake at their cabin and not be able to participate in the search because at the time and the weather, they thought that they might throw off the dog's scent or any trails. Sammy was last seen wearing a long-sleeve black and green striped shirt, cargo pants, red suede slip-on shoes with rubber soles, and a blue winter coat. The official search for Samuel Boehlke ended on October 23rd of 2006. The authorities said at the time they did not consider foul play to be a factor. This was mainly attributed to the park rangers saying that the attendance in the park that day was very low, as well as the traffic in the area was very minimal. There was only a couple other cars. They questioned everybody that was in the area. The authorities believe that when Sammy was hiding or playing the game of tag, he probably had gotten lost, possibly injured. They possibly think that he died of exposure later that night in the park. Despite the massive search and rescue effort that took place at the time and people going out afterwards and all the time that's lapsed in between, nothing has ever been found, not one piece of clothing. No remains have ever been found. This is definitely unusual considering it's been almost 18 years since he went missing. His family did hold a memorial service for him in November of 2006. Many people believe that he was kidnapped or taken out of that area. This is an age-enhanced photo of him. He would be 25 years old if he is still alive today. I honestly don't know what to think. Sammy did enjoy hiking, fishing, and other outdoor activities. He wasn't trained in wilderness survival, but I just don't understand how he could have gotten so far away, or why he wouldn't have eventually come out of his hiding spot. Especially when it was getting dark, he probably would have been getting hungry, and people were looking for him for the next 2 weeks all around that area. His disappearance also sparks very similar characteristics as Garrett Bardsley's disappearance, which I covered a few months ago. I'll have the link to that in the description. They both were with their fathers. They separated for a couple of minutes and then just vanished into thin air. After I had covered that case, many of you reached out to me and wanted me to cover this case, so I wanted to review it, and I've studied it and I've researched it. I do find it very strange that he has never been found or wasn't found at the time. It's quite possible that he was picked up sometime that day, maybe the next day, by someone else and driven out of the park. The authorities say foul play is possible, but an unlikely scenario. If anyone does have any information, you can contact the Klamath County Sheriff's Office at 541-883-7479. I want to dedicate this video to Sammy Boehlke, his parents, all his loved ones. I can't imagine what a loss like this would be like, and I truly hope and pray that one day you will get the answers as to what happened to your beloved son. Thank you all for watching. Definitely let me know your thoughts on this disappearance. Thank you for all your support, your comments, your feedback. Special thank you to co.ag for providing the background music. Hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking with me to the end. If you have any video or case suggestions, please leave me a comment, or you can always email me. I love hearing from you guys, so leave me a comment about this video or any other videos that I have done. If you would like to donate to the channel in any way, all my information is in the description. My sources and photo credits, all that information is always in the description as well. I'd love to hear about any of your 4th of July holiday weekend plans or anything that you guys have upcoming this summer. I love hearing about any of your outdoor adventures. If you live in the state of Washington and want to get into search and rescue, I'll have the information of the organization I mentioned in the beginning, Wilderness Search Investigations. Next video will be posting on Wednesday or Thursday of this coming week, so please stay tuned for that. Alright everybody, see you next time.